Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina and this is Katrina Reads. AJ Dunn Reads and Writes created their own original Booktube tag called the Booktube Island Castaway Tag, and I am going to now answer those questions. The premise is you were shipwrecked in YouTube Ocean and washed up on the shores of Booktube Island. You must trek across the island in search of rescue. Along the way, you encounter other booktubers. Explain why you've chosen them. I think this is such an original, cool idea. Anyway, so number one, the prompt is, you come upon a hut whose inhabitant decides to be your guide. Which booktuber do you trust to guide you across the island? My answer to this question is Books and LaLa. She has been on YouTube for a long time. I believe she began as a mommy YouTuber and then she switched over to Booktube. She has a large following, but not only that, she tries very hard to do a lot of good in the community of Booktube. She has started lots of tags and read-alongs and readathons, and she's so happy now that there are other ones. She developed a lot because she's a really original booktuber. She comes up with lots of different things to challenge herself. She does lots more challenges rather than readathons or anything like that. Back in the older days of Booktube, she did participate in a lot of, or she developed lots of readathons, but now she'd rather participate because there's so many other booktubers. And she puts her she backs up what she says about wanting this community to be bigger and better by saying things like, by offering smaller booktubers lots of room on her channel. So she has a book club called the Literally Dead Book Club, and she has, she brings on lots of different people of different colors, different sexual orientations. She gives people access to her large following by inviting them on to her channel to talk about, books. And I think that's great. So I would want her to and then she also likes the business of Booktube or YouTube. She does stats videos. She talks about the mechanics of it sometimes. She really likes numbers. A lot of her experiments, have a little, they're Booktube adjacent. So one of the ones, one of the longer ones that she did was over the course of a year, she did different YouTube thumbnails and did an experiment rather to see which ones would do better on the channel. And she showed, the stats, and, come to find out really the thumbnails didn't really do much for stats, but it did just help her creatively. So she talks about business and creativity, and I like that. She kind of showed you, and then she really talked about the fact that, like, at a certain point, most booktubers, even if you be like, because it's such a niche corner of the internet and the YouTube sphere, that you're really going to kind of top out at about 100,000, and that's a massively successful one. And there are a few who have gotten to 200,000 and 300,000. A lot of those guys are author YouTubers. So anyway, I'm not at all interested in becoming, having this as a job, but it's still super interesting to see her. It's interesting to see all of that, so because she knows all the different sides of it, business, creativity, books, connects with people, talks about she wades into the controversies of the booktube sphere. I don't know what to call it, the booktube sphere. There we go, the booktube sphere, without being too messy. She's not messy, but she will respond to some of the bigger issues that are going on in the community. And she also has her finger on the pulse of a lot of the privilege that she has in response to what's going on in the wider world, and she does speak out and bears that responsibility kind of seriously. And so I just like all of that, and I would ask her to, I would look for her to guide me across the island. Number 2, you set off in search of food and come across a booktuber who can feed you. Who is it? I'm going to say Attention, because I learn something from their videos every time I watch them. Especially their non-tag videos. They have, what is he does like videos, introduction to authors. His latest one, I think, Sartre. So like you're in a introductory like philosophy class, or you could be in an introductory classics class, watching one of their videos. So you're going to be fed from Attention. You and your guide, number 3, you and your guide somehow get lost and you're thirsty. Which booktuber can lead you to water? So I interpreted this as you're lost in what your purpose on this channel is, right? Or what's your purpose on being on YouTube? I came at this as a hobby, something that helped me after coming out of a kind of major mental break. And this was proof that I was getting healthy, because there was something that I was doing again with my mind other than just kind of surviving. And she also kind of like Bookish Realm, Ashley at Bookish Realm reminds, like if someone, it's just like having an app on your phone that reminds you to drink water, or a person who's always reminding you to kind of take care of yourself. She reminds you to do this. Remember why you're here. Remember what you're doing this for, so that you don't fall into kind of despair when your numbers don't match somebody else's numbers, so you don't get competitive with anybody else other than yourself. Because, you know, you have to remember that this is, you know, if you're on here to be popular or something like that, a lot of times for someone who is dark skinned, for someone who is fat, for someone who is not conventionally attractive, or just not lucky when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, you're going to flail. You know, you're going to be thirsty. You're going to be thirsty for attention and things like that. And it's like, okay, no, I'm here to talk about books and share my joy for books and all things bookish, and find a couple of bookish friends and talk about books with them. That's why I'm here. Let's remember to do that. Let's remember and keep going. And I've watched her do that for years. So and be very vulnerable about the fact that she has put a lot of work into this and not seen the same growth as other people who are doing less than or just as much, and things like that. So I'm refreshed by her honesty, and I'm refreshed by her reminder to do this for the reasons that you want to do them, not to for any kind of competition or anything like that. Number 4 says, yikes, you've fallen into a hidden pit. Which booktuber would you look to get you out? I interpreted this as you fall into a slump, a reading slump, and I would look to Mara at Books Like Woah, because she is a voracious omnivore, and any given time on a haul or any of her projects that she's doing, like right now, I think she's going through all of Nora Roberts' books. She's rereading the romantic, like sci-fi romance series, Changeling series. She, I think last year, went through all of the Agatha Christie books. So you're always going to have, and then she has a podcast, she has live streams. So and then in the live streams, people are, suggesting books. You are never going to not have something to talk about bookish wise when it comes to going to her channel. 5 is the salty air is destroying your clothes. Which booktuber would you let clothe you? And I would say Onyx Pages. I'm going to try to put a couple of her her glasses and earring choices up. She's also an amazing, she speaks on almost exclusively Afro-futuristic, African American sci-fi and fantasy books. 6. Even castaways need distraction. Which booktuber do you find who gives you the entertainment you need? I'm going to say 2. With Cindy. She used to be Read with Cindy, but now I think she's with Cindy because she does Watch with Cindy and Read with Cindy. She's really sarcastic, and I think that lent to her channel exploding because she's so funny, and she does really sarcastic reviews of some of these silly books that are out, while also, you know, just responding really vulnerably to movies and books that are sweet. I would also say Chanelle Time. Chanelle Time is really funny to me, just naturally funny. I love it when she's on somebody's live. I don't read the same books as she reads, and she's into a lot of K-pop stuff, but I especially do love when she's on someone else's live show, or she's, you know, have you know, she read like a book club book and she's talking about it. She's always going to make me giggle. So Chanelle Time is the other person that I would say. Number 7, shucks, you've been hurt. You need to find a booktuber to heal you. Who is it? I would say the protagonist. She's a really sweet, calm, upbeat channel that's focused on cozy mysteries and tea, and she's just really sweet. And I feel like if I were hurt and needed to convalesce, that would be a nice place to go. Number 8, now it's raining. Which booktuber do you meet who could build you a solid shelter? I'm going to say AJ. Dunn reads and writes. They built a bookshelf. Had a short video of them building a bookshelf, and it was really relaxing. The music was nice, and I have no patience. I have no spatial relation. I don't have the correct, spatial relation to understand, like, even, how IKEA doesn't have words, it's just pictures. I can't figure that out. I don't have the patience for it. So I don't have the knowledge, and I would just be sitting there cold, and I feel like AJ would be able to build the shelter. Number 9, you come across a booktuber who challenges your perception. Who is it? I would say Charles over at Books on Stereo, just because they host so many different perspectives on their channel. He talks about what he reads and listens to. He's an audiophile as well, but he does he's doing a lot more interviews with authors and other booktubers, and it always raises a lot of they always have really interesting conversations. Whether I agree or not, I'm always interested. I'm always setting a reminder for the premiere. 10 is you find the source of all knowledge on Booktube Island. Which booktuber holds that knowledge? That's Jess Owens over at I think her channel is just Jess Owens. She does a weekly, sometimes now twice a week. She did a mini episode today, actually, as of this taping, because there's so much drama. She does a drama. Her channel, I don't think she wanted it to be a drama channel. It just happened to be where she found her niche. Half the time I spend on Twitter is trying to figure out what everybody's mad about. Because people will just respond out into the Twitterverse, and they won't connect to anything. They won't tag anything. And so you just be like, what happened? Who is everybody mad at today? Or something will be trending, but you can't get to the original tweet. And so she does God's work and pulls all that information together and puts it out once a week on her channel. Jess Owens and Nigel, her little sidekick, who is the cutest little French bulldog. I think Mara at Books Like Woah called Nigel Booktube's what's the word, mascot. So yeah. Number 11, you finally have a chance to be rescued. Which booktuber do you trust to save you? And I would say Chronicles of Noria. She's a really good booktuber. She, reads lots of Afro inspired fantasy, but she's hilarious. She does lots of hilarious edits, but she is fiery and quick. I'm the kind of person, if you say something to me, I'll be in the shower for the next week coming up with the right response. I'm not quick on the updraw, and I feel like she would be quick to save me. She's also someone who, when there were some things going down, I think last year when the girls were stolen in Nigeria, she was the one that everybody kept referring back to, who had the knowledge on that, and so she's already saving people in a sense, and so that's the reason why I thought of her when I saw that prompt. Number 12, you've been saved. Tag another booktuber to go on the Booktube Island Castaway adventure. So I'm just gonna say whoever watches this tag and would like to do the tag, please do go over to AJ Dunn Reads and Writes and give them some love, because this was such a creative, well thought out tag. I'm sorry it took so long to do it. I just had other ones already scheduled and uploaded, and then I do that because if I get down mood wise, I already have stuff going out, and then once I'm back up and ready to go and in gear, then I can get stuff going again. So that's the only reason why it took me so long to do it. It's just because mood wise I wasn't doing well. Now I'm doing a little bit better, so I wanted to go ahead and get in here and do this, and I really enjoyed this. I really loved this tag, and I really loved kind of the nature of it. Not just that it was creative and fun to do, but that it was highlighting other booktubers again, and that's such a cool thing to keep highlighting other booktubers and keep other people from languishing like in the corners of this community. So thank you, AJ. And if you enjoyed this tag, if you made it through to the end of this tag, just leave me a tag emoji. Please like and subscribe, ring the bell so that you know whenever I upload a video, and be easy on yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.